It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. The Hunters cricketing fraternity is mourning the loss of former Test leg spinner Robert Dutchy Holland. He passed away yesterday at the age of 70 after a battle with brain cancer. Dutchy managed to attend a tribute night in his honour on Friday, despite being in pain from a fall last week. His wife Carolyn took him to hospital yesterday after a bad night on Saturday, where it was confirmed he'd broken a number of ribs. But he suffered a brain bleed while at hospital and passed away peacefully. Police have released the description of a man wanted over the indecent assault of a teenage girl on Hamilton's Main Street. Police say the 16-year-old was walking along Beaumont Street just after 2:30 on Saturday when the man indecently assaulted her. Detectives are confident members of the public would have seen the man, who's described as being Caucasian, about 40 years old, and was wearing a black hoodie with a white print on the front and camouflage pants. It'll be a new era on Newcastle City Council, with Labor gaining the balance of power for the first time in 40 years. The ALP picked up another 2 spots at the council elections to have 6 councillors, as well as Lord Mayor Nuatali Nelms. The Liberals only have 1 seat on council, with party officials blaming the result on a backlash against the state and federal governments. A wild dog program labelled the first of its kind is being launched in the Upper Hunter today, aimed at making life easier for farmers and their livestock. The program is worth $1 million over 4 years to create a pool of accredited dog controllers to help cull the number of feral dogs. Luke Booth from Hunter Local Land Services says the program has lots of support from all areas.
It's being spearheaded by the Hunter Valley Combined Wild Dog Association and also with local land services. However, the AWI, which is the wool industry, significant stakeholders, as well as several mines, large mining companies around the Upper Hunter, and other public agencies.
Finding a parking spot in the Newcastle CBD is about to become even more of a challenge from today. 40 spots in Steel Lane behind the Hunter New England Health Building are disappearing as work continues on the light rail line. Council is considering a proposal to convert the former bus zones on Hunter Street to parking, while 35 paid parking spots are due to open up at Throsby Wharf by the end of the month. St Paul's Primary School at Gateshead has received $30,000 from the state government's before and after school fund, which will go towards creating 120 places at an out-of-school hours care program. Parliamentary Secretary for the Hunter, Scott McDonald, says the funding is great news for busy families who need more flexible and affordable after-school care options.
So that gives parents at a very low cost, and I would encourage parents to go talk to St Paul's, or OOSH there as they call it, and they can probably find that they might be able to even get rebates that make the childcare cost very, very cheap.
Sport for our sponsor, PRD Nationwide East Maitland.
Wanderers are into the Newcastle and Hunter Rugby Union Grand Final after beating Southern Beaches 34 points to 20 on Saturday. Coach Viv Passy says his side will have to tidy up a few things in training if they're to beat Hamilton this weekend. It'll be the 3rd consecutive year where Hamilton will take on Wanderers in the decider. North Newcastle has qualified for the New South Wales Women's Rugby League Grand Final, downing Glenmore Park 20 points to 14 yesterday. It marks an impressive year for the side, earning a grand final spot in their first season in the league. Edgeworth is 1 win away from hosting the NPL Playoff Grand Final after defeating Canberra Olympic 4-1 on Saturday. The Eagles will now take on Brisbane Strikers at Jack McLaughlin Oval next weekend for a spot in the decider. And Newcastle girl and arguably our greatest ever Matilda, Cheryl Salisbury, has been rewarded with the highest honour in Australian football, receiving the Alex Tobin Medal. Salisbury was given the medal at the PFA Players Awards in Merewether yesterday after achieving a record 151 caps. It comes as the Matildas prepare for their match against Brazil at McDonald Jones Stadium tomorrow night. And the winning numbers in Weekend Lotto are 29, 10, 45, 5, 20 and 41, and the supplementaries are 7 and 26. 2NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.